Why thyroid hormones are not getting into your cells. If you're new to my channel, I'm Dr. Darren Scott. I've been helping people for 20 years get their life back from chronic conditions like Hashimoto's and hypothyroid and GI complaints. I'm going to talk about the 5 reasons why your thyroid hormone may not be getting into your cells. And this is important because if you're having thyroid symptoms like fatigue and weight gain, brain fog, and you're taking thyroid medication, well, one of these 5s, and maybe more than one of the 5s, is the reason why you're feeling this way. The first reason is that you may not efficiently be converting the inactive T4 hormone into the hormone that your body and cells can actually use, which is T3. And as you can see here, that 93% of all the hormone your thyroid makes is this inactive hormone, and very little is the T3 hormone. Now, your body produces about 30 micrograms daily of this T3 hormone. And out of that 30 micrograms, only 5 micrograms is coming directly from the thyroid. The rest of it is having to be converted from T4 into that T3 hormone, which makes it about 25 micrograms. This is why you need to make sure you're able to convert properly. And finally, where does the majority of this conversion take place? In your gut and in your liver, not in your thyroid. So those need to be functioning properly if you want to have a chance to do this conversion. Now remember, the whole goal of this is to get the hormone into the cell. If the hormone is just floating around in your blood and it's not getting into your cell, it doesn't do you any good. Let me explain it this way. So let's say you're able to do this conversion and now you have all this T3 floating around in this bloodstream here. And these are cells. What has to happen for your body to use the hormone is this T3 hormone has to actually come over here and dock into this receptor right here. That's only step 1. Then it has to be downloaded into the cell and get into the cell. That is step 2. Then the third step is it has to get into the DNA of the cell so that hormone can turn that cell on. Now, when we do blood work, we're measuring what's in the bloodstream, not what's in the cell. This is why if you're still having symptoms and you can have normal labs but still feel like crap because it may not be activating the cell. Now the second reason is you can get inflammation, and what happens is inflammation literally creates a barrier around the cell membrane, kind of like a moat around a castle. So this hormone can actually dock to the cell maybe, but it can't get into the cell. Right? And then all the bad metabolic waste in the cell cannot get out. And so what happens, that cell starts to get what they call diseased. Then you develop a chronic condition. Number 3 reason is you can actually get toxicities that can actually plug up the receptor site. So when this hormone tries to get into the receptor, it can't do it. Another hormone called cortisol can actually fill in these gateways into the cell and prevent hormone from being able to get into the cell as well. So if you have cortisol, it's a stress hormone. This is important to manage your stress and make sure you don't have toxicities. The last reason is going to be a nutrient deficiency. So I've listed here some of the nutrients that you actually need to have to be able to convert and to be able to get into the DNA and actually get cells turned on. So it's good to make sure you have adequate levels of all of these. So if these are imbalanced, it's kind of like you have a lock and a key to open a door, but you have no way to turn that key. So you definitely need to have these there. So as you can see, there's a lot of breakdowns along the way. So you just need to make sure all these are functioning properly. Now it can be confusing, but that's why we're here. We're here to help guide people on how to get their life back from these kind of conditions.